Hi Virgo, welcome to Mama Star X channel and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, I'm doing this reading connecting with the energies of the moon, the new moon. You know, we're already feeling those energies, and in this particular case, the moon is going back to her own house and pay a visit. So Cancer, it's Cancer time. Oh my goodness. And Cancerian lunar energy is all about our emotions. And you know, emotions that has to do with our home environment. How do we feel about our home? What kind of relationships we have with our home? What kind of relationships we have with the people that we live with, as well as our family members. So this could be either a very good positive time with your family and yourself, right? Or it could be a very sensitive time for those of you who may still have some sort of animosity when it comes to your relationships with that area of your life. So take it easy, because I feel like this is going to be a very emotional time. It already is. So, you know, self-awareness is, I think, is the key, so that we don't end up projecting our feelings and, you know, our sensitivity to other people, or vice versa. Let other people, you know, project their feelings towards us and then, you know, take it personal. All right, Virgo. So I want to thank you for being here and supporting my channel if this is not your first time. And even if it is, welcome. And all I ask is that for you to continue to support the channel, you know, support the algorithms of heart center energy. You know, I have a very strong connection with the Pleiadian energy. And part of my integration path has been to recognize and remember that connection. So Pleiadian energy has everything to do with our heart center. So everything that I do, it comes from that place. You know, I work with the frequencies that are heart center related. So it's a very different style to other people, but that's okay. I really like what I do, and, you know, I do it with all my heart and with the best of intentions to provide, you know, the type of information that is going to help anyone that, you know, stays and hears these readings in a positive way. It's about self-empowerment. You know, I always remind in every reading before I begin, hey, you're a very powerful being. Do you know that? You know, and in order for you to know that, you have to know yourself. And not just the good things. You also have to know your limitations. You have to accept all of you. And once you begin in that journey, believe me, you're going to have some aha moments where you're going to realize, oh my God, I am powerful. You know what I mean? And when you know that you're powerful, and then you stop giving your power away, or you just stop buying into whatever people tell you that is not necessarily in alignment with your truth. You see what I mean? So anyways, all right, Virgo, so let's begin. In this particular cycle, we have 4 major arcanas. And then the minor arcanas are talking about the, you know, some of the cards that have come out here, the major arcanas, but it's also talking about other ones that have not come out in the reading. So the overall energy here is the World card, and I'm really liking this card. I like the energy of the World card, because it's basically saying that, you know, it's time to close a cycle. So whatever is happening here right now, the Oracle is saying, okay, close it. You know, you have enough information, as well as you've done enough to know better. So it's time to close it. Because this is the moment where you get to change your focus, shift your focus, Virgo, into an energy that is going to be more open, more positive. You know what I mean? And when I see the reef here of the World card, it feels very heart center. So if you really want to end a cycle and stop feeding into a connection that is not healthy for you, all you need to do is bring your focus down to your heart, and then do the best you can throughout the day to bring your focus down to your heart. And especially in those moments that you may be thinking about this person here, this Queen of Cups that is coming with the devil energy. You know, we're dealing here with somebody who's very insecure. Somebody who rather feeds their demons than do the right thing. And especially when it comes to your connection. You know, I don't know what happened between the two of you that, you know, is making this person feel this level of insecurity every time they're thinking about you, Virgo. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I look at the element fire in this particular reading, we have 31 wands. 31 wands. It's all about the fire between two people and what they're doing with it. And out of those 31, we have 16 wands that are upside down. Upside down. And 16 is talking about the tower. So 16 wands are causing this tower. And this is how the other person sees you. So I feel like this person right now is going through a moment where they have to accept some facts about how they feel that they have refused to do in the past. You know how sometimes we get really stubborn and we're refusing to accept how we're feeling? And oh my goodness, you know, we struggle because we're like, no, it's just impossible. And we get really stubborn because we do whatever it takes not to accept how we're feeling. So when we get into that emotional state, we're feeding our demons. You know, our feelings are telling us something and we're going against that something. You know, and your feelings related to your heart. And your heart has an incredible capability to bring information that is transcendental information. And once you start working with your heart, your life changes in so many ways, incredible ways. I'm telling you because I'm a very heart-centered person. I'm very heart-centered focused. And it doesn't mean that I don't use my mind and I don't analyze situations. But ultimately, everything that I think, I feel. And in the way I feel is how I determine what I will continue to think. And now that I've come back to start meditating, I've been meditating for a month now where I do it every day. And I don't meditate for 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes I meditate up to 3 hours. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but you know, not less than an hour. I meditate. And those times that I take to meditate is what's helping me to change a lot of those belief systems that I've had in my subconscious mind that are working against what my heart says. You know, it's ego-based, fear-based, all those different defense mechanisms that our ego uses in those moments where we're feeling threatened. So you become more energy centered. It's interesting because, you know, I told you that I have this very strong connection with Pleiadian energy. And one of the things that I heard in that process of integration with my connection to the Pleiades was that, you know, the reason why I had such a strong connection with Australia, it was because of that. My husband was from there, and, you know, he was able to take me to Uluru, which is this sacred rock in Central Australia that is also known as Ayers Rock. But the original people see that rock as a sacred place because a sacred rock because it's not from here, it's not here from Earth, and not because Earth is not sacred, but it's because it represents the connection that we have with the constellation of the Pleiades, the Seven Sisters. And you know, they have a whole story and myth about how they came down to Earth and they mixed their genes with our species. So, you know, I was told that eventually I would go there because of the connection that I had with there. But also in that journey, I was told that I had a very strong connection with Mother Mary, you know, the mother of Jesus. And, you know, I had a really difficult time, like, understanding what that meant because, you know, I've never really had a very strong connection or relationship with church. I mean, at some point I did make peace with church, but, since I was a little girl, there was a lot of things that I would hear in church that I didn't believe because I knew something, I don't know, in me knew that it was a lie. So when this entity told me, you have a very strong connection with Mother Mary, and even, it told me to go to this church, here close to where I live, where there is the statue of Mary, and to do prayers with her because I had that ability to be heard by her energy. And I was like, really? Anyways, about 5 days ago, after doing a meditation, I went to sleep and I started having this lucid dream. It's a very real, vivid dream. And I saw myself embodying the frequency of Mother Mary. And her energy was fantastic. And I'll tell you, I don't have words to describe how I felt. But the one thing that I can say is that I felt a lot of love. And the energy was very golden, very vibrant, gold energy, very expansive. And I could see myself outside my body, looking at my body. And I could see the posture of Mother Mary. It's like my subconscious mind was telling me, this is the frequency of what you know as Mother Mary. And then I would feel that energy. Even when I woke up, I would still feel the effects. And even when I think about it, I still feel what that is like. But what helped me realize was that this concept of Mother Mary, just like the concept of Christ, is just an energy frequency that when we are ready, we get to embody and be it and transmute it. And that's what that entity was trying to tell me, but I think it didn't explain it in that way because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I was not yet, my comprehension level has not reached that level of understanding that I could understand what it was trying to tell me. So it wasn't until I had the experience that I was like, oh my God, this is a frequency. And it's interesting that the way we've been taught or we've been told about that frequency is through a person. This is a person. Oh my goodness. There's so much to our history and to our religions that are just corrupted and messed up. But anyways, so I understood then that Pleiadian energy is not just talking about the energy of our heart center, but it's also talking about this particular frequencies that are very sophisticated. And it has to do with, when we begin to work with our heart and refine our, vehicle, our body, our mind in a way or to a point where, we will have the opportunities to embody this type of frequencies. So, when I see this reading, I feel like, damn, you have that world card. Just change your focus, Virgo, because whatever is happening here with this particular connection is done. The oracle is saying, you're done. And you may say, well, but I already left that person behind. I know who you're talking about because you probably know who I'm talking about. And I don't see that person. I haven't seen them in a while. That's been a long gone past. And yet their energies are coming out here. Because it seems like this person right now is having a tower moment. And it's coming through their head. Again, this is somebody who the way they process their information is not necessarily healthy. When we look at the swords here, we have a 10 and we have a 4. 14. And it's coming up, it's talking about temperance, the energy of temperance. And it's interesting because underneath this world card, we have an Ace of Pentacles upside down. And then we have the Temperance upside down. See, Temperance card. So, whatever way this person tends to think and how they put the information together, they're processing. You know how we process information internally in our heads, in our heart? This person, it's not very clear. It doesn't, they are not working from a place of light. They're not working from a place of, positive intentions. Their intentions are messed up. And of course, it's like anything, Virgo. If you haven't been taught how to love yourself as a child, it's really difficult to show love in situations like this towards other people. Some of us have been luckier in that sense where, we might have had parents that were very supportive and loving and were able to teach us values where, we can use them in our lives in a positive way. But there's a lot of people that, we're a species that is traumatized. And yes, you can find people that momentarily can make you feel like, wow, when you feel their fire, you're like, damn, I found the one, right? That's the story that we tell ourselves right away. But then when you take the time to get to know that person, something doesn't make sense because you notice that in their behavior, something is amiss. And this is where we see the coins, right? Coins, actions. It's not just talking about money. We have here 15 coins. And the 15 coins are upside down. And one is in a challenge position with the 6, the energy of the lovers. And in this particular case, he's saying, this is not about giving and receiving on both ends. This is just about one person giving and the other one taking it all. And that's not healthy, right? And the other one is the 9 of coins, the Hermit. This is the house of freedom. It's the house of, achievement. Did I get what I want? Nope. So a lot of the frustration that is left from this connection is due because somebody did not make the choices to demonstrate how they felt. Somebody here was afraid of feeling vulnerable, of opening up. Because it's somebody who, again, comes with the devil. The devil energy. The influences of the devil. So the opportunity that you have right now, Virgo, is to liberate your wands. This Queen of Wands. This is where you see yourself. I feel like this is you. I strongly do. Of course, I don't know, I can be picking up energy from cross watchers, but I feel like you're representing, whoever is talking here about the 4 of Wands, right? This concept of the ideal connection or the ideal relationship, or, having somebody where we can be in the same page. There's this feeling of victory in this 4 of Wands. Is being clarified by this 9 of Pentacles, this 2 of Pentacles, and this Queen of Wands. So I feel like, we made a choice here in this particular case with, look at all these wands upside down here. Talking about this Tower moment, talking about what's happening with this person. But, there's a Queen of Wands here that is saying, it's time to leave this behind. I want to have my wands back. And this is how you see yourself. You see, that's why I think, well, this got to be you, Virgo. It's like, I want my energy back. I want it all. I don't want to be divided anymore. So for those of you who have walked away and have not seen this person anymore from, in a 3D, now you need to disconnect the mental connection that you may have once in a while with this person, especially if this person is having a Tower moment. And this Tower moment is basically triggering their connection with the devil energy. So if somebody's thinking about you, especially now, in the way the energy is vibrating in Earth right now, it's very easy to think of that person. Have you noticed when sometimes all of a sudden somebody pop in your head and you start thinking about that person and your initial feeling is, I'm going to call them, but you're like, no. And then all of a sudden they call you, right? That's the confirmation. A confirmation that is telling you that that person, and you were connected. Well, when you're thinking about somebody out of the blue, that's because there is a connection. It's like a phone cable that is emitting signals, and your radar picked up those signals, and now you're communicating through energy. Because in the energy world, we never disconnect from other people. But the level of connection that we're continuing to pursue, with that energy, it's important because it can come from a place of poor intentions, or it can come from a place of love. So, you can think of somebody, that person made me feel so good. We had such a good times. But, and what comes after the but? How is it making you feel? So, and sometimes in the way that we feel after the but can be like, oh, well, but I have all this story, and that story is what will trigger your own insecurities. And if you're not paying attention, all of a sudden you start now vibrating with the other person, and what you're doing is making this devil very strong between you and the energy of that person. And now you're captivated. Now you're influenced by an energy that is not necessarily what you want to nurture, but it's what you're doing. And that's why, the oracle is saying, hey, these are good times. Something ends, but there's always room for something new. You may have a great day, but the next day, you never know. The sun always comes out every single day. And even though sometimes you may not see it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. In your life and in this cycle, it's time to complete it, because there are things here that are going to be of benefit to you. They're going to be really positive, but you have to know. And you have to be self-aware of how you're focusing your fire and how you're focusing with your vital force. You see what I mean? You know what I mean, Virgo? I'm trying to take it very lightly. So I asked 5 different oracles for advice. And I'll tell you, look at this. So 2 of them says the dream. And it comes with the lover's energy. And look at how beautiful this card is. Focus on your dream. What's the dream? The other one is follow your dreams. And look at this numerology. 8585. 8 in tarot is the strength card. And 5 is the Hierophant. And when you add this, it's 13. And 13 is transformation. It's time to change. And when you add 1 plus 3 is 4, the Emperor. Time to change your initiatives. It's time to change. It's time to move on. And follow the dream. Don't let other people's insecurities and demons to affect your relationships to your dream. See what I mean? And then you have the Earth card here, your element. And we have the number 26, High Priestess with the Lovers, with the dream. And then you add up and it gives you 8, your strength. See what I mean? Another proof. And then you have the Dragonfly Spirit. I love this card. It's so beautiful. It talks about change, the importance of change. It's the energy that allows us to have another opportunity at the things we want to go after. And it talks about that magic, right? And the change, connecting with the water element. For earth signs, being near water is so important. Listening to water, walking by the ocean or by a beach or by, a river or a lake, waterfall, the dragonfly. This is one of my favorite symbols. And I think I share an experience that I had with the dragonfly. So there's a mystical aspect to this cycle that you're entering, Virgo. But you need to be focused in your heart. And it's basically saying that, the biggest issue here between the two of you, or this connection, was vulnerability. Somebody was afraid to be vulnerable. And once you start working with your heart, I'll tell you, you lose the fears. It's a work in progress, because it's not something that, just because you begin right away that you're going to feel all the beautiful effects that you get from, working with that energy center. It's a work in progress. I mean, yeah. And you need to be patient with yourself. Especially to reach that level of awareness where you start benefiting or reaping the benefits of the work that you're doing. So don't give up your dream. Don't let anybody else get in the way of your dreams. If you didn't get this particular situation with this particular person, and then move on, because there are going to be other opportunities that, believe me, in due time, the more you trust in yourself, in due time, is going to show you that it's going to be better than this, whatever this was, whatever this meant to you. It's going to be better. I can assure you. It's just a matter of whether you believe it or not, even when you haven't had the experience. And that's the trick. How consistent and how committed are you to the dream, and not let some of this experience from the past that did not demonstrate the level of achievement and satisfaction that you wanted to get from this experience, right? You were not able to achieve them, get in the way. And to know that, oh, wait a minute, okay, now I know what I need to change. Because all of these experiences are basically expressing the thought process that you went through to get to the experience. And the people that you will attract are going to participate, are going to be an aspect of that thought process. All right, Virgo. Thank you so much for listening, and I really, truly wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for being part of my energy and my channel. The best of luck to you until next time.